Widely known as the Water Tower of Asia, the Tibetan Plateau is a rich repository of fresh water that is shared across Asia. It is the source of water for a dozen transboundary rivers, including the Yangtze, Yellow, Indus, Ganges, Brahmaputra, Irrawaddy, Salween, and Mekong rivers. Collectively, more than 3 billion people depend on these rivers. Just take a moment to appreciate this geopolitical fact of existence. The slightest alteration in water flow could ignite a chain of environmental refugees in some of the most densely populated nations in the world. Much of the fresh water in Pakistan, India, Bangladesh, Nepal, Bhutan, Myanmar, Thailand, Laos, Cambodia, and Vietnam trace its origins to the glaciers in Tibet. And through its political control over Tibet, China has total upper riparian control over the downstream nations. This makes Tibet China's greatest geographic advantage, deeply so. And China isn't shy about the exploitation of hydropower. It spent over 7 decades damming most of its internal waterways and in the process displaced more than 23 million people from their homes and land. The price for development has been heavy, but the hydropower sector has grown 20-fold in the last 40 years. Still, Chinese lawmakers are only getting started. After damming most of its rivers, China is now casting its sight on the major transboundary rivers flowing out from the Tibetan Plateau, which had thus far remained largely untouched. Today, less than 1% of Tibet's hydropower potential is being exploited, but that condition is changing. As urbanization and industrialization across China accelerates, Beijing's need for renewable energy is increasing rapidly. As such, state-owned companies are now lobbying the Beijing government to approve of hydropower projects in Tibet, with 28 projects currently waiting for the green light. Some facilities along Tibet's transboundary rivers have already been realized, and they offer a peek into the future. The Brahmaputra, for instance, is a major international river shared by China, India, and Bangladesh. It stretches over a total length of 2,900 kilometers, starting on the Tibetan Plateau from its source, the Chengyongdong Glacier near Mount Kailash, an area that is considered sacred by multiple religions. There was a time that the river was free